Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for joining us tonight for what promises to be a really entertaining evening. We're very lucky to welcome back to Tokyo one of the most popular major league players to have ever played in Tokyo. And of course, he remains an icon. Word got out on the internet, on the website today, that he was going to appear, and all of a sudden he gets out of the car downstairs and he's approached by fans who want their baseballs signed. So anyway, we're very honored to be here with you, Warren. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to leave the introduction very brief, except to tell you that he's a man on a mission. He's here basically at the invitation of Major League Baseball and heading up to Tohoku for an MLB youth baseball tournament. Warren is here as you're going to be coaching and basically inspiring children, future generation baseball players, and spending basically the better part of a week up there in Tohoku, Ishinomaki. And then he's also here with his other cap that he'll show you later as CEO of a group that is trying to bring Major League Baseball back to Montreal. And so we're very honored to have representative from Quebec today. We're very honored to have Takai-san from MLB. Maybe you can fill us in on some details later. But thank you very much, and I'm just going to pass you over to Mr. Warren Cromartie.
Thank you very much.
We'd like to put up the podium.
Okay. Anywhere you want. I really don't need a mic. My voice travels. But we'll do it the way you want to do it.
Okay. This is big. Okay.
Well, first of all, it's great to see everybody here, and I want to tell you how much I really appreciate you coming out on a semi-short notice. Lots of things are going on, vacation time, a lot of people out of town. You got the Centauri Maltz game over here at the Dome tonight. A few other sports writers are not here, but I was hoping they'd be here. But you guys are real troopers, and I really appreciate you coming out tonight. Osashiburi now. It's been a long time. And, you know, I talked to Mary a couple of times. We wanted to try to do this last year, but had a couple of family issues that set back. We couldn't really put it together, but I'm here now to speak with you a little bit, let you know what yours truly, what I'm doing, and what I like to be doing, and a little bit of Q&A after we finish talking. But before I get going here, I just want to say something to Wayne Gracie here, who I like to call the godfather of Japanese baseball. And without me getting too emotional here, how much that every American baseball player who's played here in Japan owes a lot of credit to you, Wayne. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you how much I love you, and I appreciate everything that you've done since 1983 when I arrived here in in Tokyo. For every American ball player to have played here, how much you mean to us, and by you sitting here means the world to me as a person and as somebody who's played here in Japan. And once again, I want to tell you how much I love you. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, and just to do quick interpretation of that in a nutshell. 本当に、東京に戻ってこれてこんなに嬉しいことはございません。で本当に懐かしい顔も何人か今日は集まっていただいたので皆さんにお会いできてとても光栄です。でそのいろんな親友の中、お世話になった人たちの中でも、こちらのセンターテーブルに座ってらっしゃるウェイン・グレイチックさんは1983年自分が日本に来た時からもうこの数十年ずっとお世話になっております。で彼なしでは本当にアメリカから来たメジャーリーグの選手たちも大変苦労したと思うんです ですが、もう本当に、私は彼のことを日本の、野球の、ゴッドファーザーと言ってるんですが、本当に彼のことをもう心から愛しております。本当にお集まりいただいてありがとうございます。
Well, to begin the speech, and I want to try to make this as quick as possible, let you know what I've been doing here and why I'm here and why you're here to give a listen. I see some people here I haven't seen 25, 30 years since I came here. I'm glad they're here. And I'm here just to spend some time, get the hell out of the U.S. a little bit. Lots going on in the U.S., Donald Trump and everybody else. We got lots going on there. Spend a little time, a little vacation here, and my backyard, my second home. See some friends I haven't seen in a long, long time. Possibly watch some Japanese baseball because I get asked about that all the time back in the States. And also just to let you know my love for Tokyo in general.
Okay, 今、アメリカではいろんなことを皆様もご存知だと思いますけど、起こってます。ですから、そういう国から少し、離れてバカンスを取りたいと思って、去年も来るはずだったんですが、ちょっといろんな予定で今年になってしまいましたが、今は、ドナルド・トランプさんとかいろんな、ニュースでも騒がれてますが、本当に日本に来れて、ゆっくり、日本の野球をまた見て、日本ジャパンベースボールのことはアメリカでも常にいろんな方たちに聞かれています。本当に注目されているので、ここに来てまた、それを味わっていきたいと思います。
Also, I'm here to do a special clinic for Major League Baseball and Ishonimaki this weekend coming up. That's something I'm really looking forward to, and because it's one of my things as far as teaching, especially with the youth with baseball. And giving something back to baseball, especially with a country and a city that was ravaged by the tsunami, and give an opportunity to share my experience, let them see someone who is different, who has been a part of the Japanese culture, and participate with Major League Baseball, what they're doing here in Japan with Jim Smalls. Mr. Takahashi-san is over there also from Major League Baseball. I'm looking very much forward to be a part of MLB here in Japan. Especially spread the word for my love for teaching, and I think this is going to be a start to spread the word in baseball here in Japan, especially with the youth, to let them see someone who maybe they haven't seen play, but their mama and papa told them about it. And I'm one of those figures that I ask a young kid, Japanese kid, to come up to me and ask for an autograph, and I look at him, I said, "Studu?" And he says, "Cromartie." So when I get that, that's a tremendous feeling. I know they don't have an idea, never saw me play, but Mama and Papa told them all about it. So I'm looking forward to the clinic that we're going to have. And hopefully we can have many, many more clinics to spread the word about baseball here in Japan.
その中でも本当にユースベースボール、若い、人たちに野球の喜びを教えていくのが本当に私にとっても夢でありますので、今回石巻に行ってそういう若い人たちと一緒にベースボールができるのが非常に楽しみで日本に今回来ました。で若い子から時々サインくださいって言われるんですけど、本当にリアルタイムで私のことを知っているはずがないんですが、その、親たちが私のことを覚えてくれていて、子どもたちにそれを伝えているっていうことが本当に誇りでもありますし、こんなに嬉しいことはありません。
And as you know, before I came to Japan, I wore this hat. It's a Montreal Expo cap. When I'm from Montreal, Canada. We've had a baseball team in Montreal since 1969. Jackie Robinson played in Montreal for the Royals along with Roberto Clemente, and we've had a professional baseball team in Montreal since 1969. The past 11 years, Montreal's lost their team to the Washington Nationals. We were on a short list of contraction, ownership issues. eventually losing the ball team. I took it upon myself 5 years ago to start the city of Montreal, start talking baseball again. And something happened along the way. I was flying to Montreal, and a family, I guess they recognized me, and they tapped me on the shoulder and asked me, where can I go to see anything about the Expos? And it took me back a little bit. The city has nothing now as far as the Expos. It's like they never existed. And I thought it was a travesty that something like that since 1969 to have nothing in the city of Montreal. So I took on this ambitious journey to start spreading the word to talk baseball in Montreal again. Montreal, the city, is one of the largest cities in North America without a professional baseball team. Close to 3 million people in Montreal. Very multicultural. We have the Canadians hockey team, world-class Canadians. We have the Alouettes. We have a Major League Soccer team. So there's no reason why we cannot bring our Expos back. So I've been on this mission for 5 years now, 4.5 years now. I have a group together that I've found that make a difference in Montreal, that we're making progress now. We made some noise for the past 4 years about bringing back baseball to Montreal. At the time, people thought I was crazy. They didn't want to talk baseball. They didn't want nothing to do with it because of ownership in the past. But we made a tremendous amount of progress. We're at a point now, we're number one now for the expansion team. Major League Baseball decides to expand, or a team decides to relocate. So we're waiting. We know we need a new stadium. The Olympic Stadium is not going to be the answer for us in Montreal. We know we need a 35,000 seat stadium that we're going to build downtown. We have a very enthusiastic mayor, along with the political scene, and we have the people in the front office, the business people who make a difference in Montreal. That has been my journey, and right now it's a lot for Mary to translate, and I'll let her do the rest.
Yeah. In a nutshell, yes. You were speaking in Japanese. ごめんなさい。日本語に。ですね、今私が被っているキャップは、モントリオールエクスポーズ。私がメジャーリーグでデビューした当時のチームなんですが、数年前、ある家族にモントリオールに遊びに行った時に、じゃあメジャーリーグの歴史とかモントリオールエクスポーズ、のことを何か見たい人にとってはどこに行けばいいんですかって聞かれた時に、ほとんどまるっきりその跡形もなくその歴史が消えていたということに私は気づいて、もともとはジャッキー・ロビンソン、ロベルト・クレメンテとか本当にアメリカンメジャーリーグを代表するような名選手がいたその1969年以来ずっとメジャーで頑張ってきたチームが跡形もなく消えているっていうのは絶対罪なことだと私はその時に感じて、ホッケー、アイスホッケーですね、サッカーなどのスポーツを誇る、メジャー都市300万人以上の人口を持っている都市に、ベースボールがないというのはとても寂しいことだと思いました。それでこの4年間、5年近くになりますが、モントリオールエクスポーズ、またメジャーリーグチームをモントリオールに復活させようという運動を、心がけてこれまで頑張ってきました。でモントリオールの市長も非常に力を入れてくださっていますので、もう本当にあと一歩のところに来ていると思うんですが、もちろんスタジアムももうなくなってしまいました。オリンピックスタジアムでは野球はできないと思いますので、ダウンタウンにまた新しい3万5千人は入る、スタジアムも作らなければなりません。いろいろ課題はありますけど、本当にこの5年間で素晴らしい進歩を遂げてきたと思います。
You know, with that said, my dream is to bring Japan to Montreal, bring Montreal to Japan. With that stadium that we're planning on building, I would like to see a little Tokyo possibly. I would love to see that because of my influence here in Japan and what baseball means to Japan. that can be a great combination. So that's a possibility in my mind. That's a big dream that I have. I dream big, whatever I do. 5 years ago, they were laughing at me. They were calling me crazy. You have no chance of talking. It's going to cost $1 billion for a stadium. But all that talk said and done, right now, we're at the forefront of making that happen. We truly believe that we're going to get our baseball team back in the near future.
Okay. で、私の夢は、日本のファンの方、日本がモントリオールにもそのベースボールによってまた来てくれる、大勢来てくれるというのが多分私の役割として一番太いパイプをこれから作っていけるのではないかと、大変楽しみにしています。5年前これを始めた時はもう本当に頭がおかしくなったとよく周りに言われてましたけど、もう本当にその夢が実現しようとしています。
Before I take this hat off, I just want everybody to know that, you know, we've already had one Japanese owner for the Seattle Mariners. Montreal's looking for another one. So I just want to put that out there to be a part of what we're trying to do. Like I said before, we want to bring Montreal to Japan, Japan to Montreal. I am the so-called ambassador leader of this group. So I think it'd be a tremendous possibility to make that happen. Now, you want to say that? Switch hats.
Oh, okay. ですね。日本人、今まででもシアトルマリナーズオーナー日本人でした。もう一人そろそろ日本人オーナーがメジャーリーグに現れてもよろしいのではないでしょうかと私は非常に夢を大きく託していますが、本当にモントリオールと日本の、素晴らしい行き来できる、橋を私はここから作っていきたいと思います。でその親善大使を、私が務められればと思っています。
Well, most of you know with me with this particular cap on. お久しぶりね。本当にお久しぶり。You know, you got the Olympics coming up in 2020. That's real exciting. I get asked a lot of questions about that. And if I'm not mistaken, the last one you had here was 1964. Pretty much put Tokyo on the map. I'm very, very happy to hear that the committee has also selected baseball and softball to be a part of the Olympics. I think someone must have told them how important it is for baseball to be included, especially here in Japan. It's part of the culture here in Japan, baseball as well. And my desire to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the Olympics here in Tokyo in 2020. I don't know how people are going to get from Narita to downtown, but the traffic the way it is already, but I think it's going to be a tremendous eye-opener for the world to see Japan on a different level, and I would love to be a part of the journey.
Okay. で2020年にはもちろん東京でまたオリンピックが開催されますが、1964年本当に世界が初めて日本のカルチャー、東京を知ったと思います。その時代はですね、ほとんど知られなかった文化が、世界のみんなの、憧れの的になっていったわけです。で今回実行委員が、特別にソフトボール、ベースボールを、一応プログラムに載せたということで、私は本当にそれが、実現するようにオリンピックの、お手伝いをしていきたいと思います。すごい素晴らしい、世界的にも日本をもっと違う次元で知っていただくいいチャンスだと思います。
And with that said, I have the desire to come back. I want to come back to live in Japan. I want to come back and be a part of the community here in Japan. I think I have a lot to offer. I think the people here, the country here knows me. I have a feel for the country as well. I think I can add something to it. But my time here, 7 years with the Giants, was a wonderful experience. My family still talks about it today. My children grew up here. I have a son named Cody O. Cromartie was named after Osan, that I have, who is his godfather, was Sadahara O. And my dream is to come back and to be a part of the city once again, to be a part of the sports and entertainment business. I would like to maybe have a sports bar, call it Cromartie's, here in the city, with my influence as far as Major League Baseball, Japanese baseball, and the stars that I have played with in both continents. So that is my ambition, is to come back to Japan, live and participate in the community.
で、もう皆さんもお分かりだと思いますが、本当に私は日本が大好きです。で、ぜひ、また今後日本に戻ってきて、ここで東京で生活できたら、本当に私の夢の実現になります。第二の故郷として、ずっと、時々日本には来ているんですが、ジャイアンツとの7年間というのは本当に私の人生の中で最も楽しかった7年間でもありますし、私の子どもたちも東京で育っていまだに東京を忘れられないといつも家族では、東京の話が持ち上がります。私の息子のミドルネームコーディ・オー・クロマーティ、と申しますが、それは王さんの王を借りたミドルネームなんですが、そういうこともありまして、本当にこの町の一部として何かここで仕事をしながら、またこのコミュニティの中に、溶け込んでいくようなチャンスがあったらすごく嬉しく思います。スポーツエンターテインメント、クロマティというスポーツバーもちょっと一つ考えてるんですけど、大変いろいろプロジェクトがありまして楽しみにしています。
And in closing, I just want to say this. You know, my 7 years here in Japan has been a wonderful experience. Now I have time to sit back and reflect what I've done here in Japan. I still get recognized. It starts at the airport in Los Angeles, all the way to Narita, the taxi cab drivers, people walking down the street, the hotels. I am very blessed to be able to experience something like this. It's very humbling. Sometimes I don't realize the impact that I've made here in Japan by me playing. I guess I have. I realize that now, and I want to be able to give back to the people of Japan that gave me so much, and my love for the game. And I was talking to Ichio in Miami, in my backyard, and Ichio said to me, "Kuro-san, they still love you in Japan." Ichio told me this. So I just want to thank everybody, Mary, especially you, for what you've done with the press conference, being able to let me voice my love for the community and the people who are here. You're here for a reason. I know some of you I don't know, but I will know after this conference, and I really appreciate you showing up and showing your appreciation, and I don't take anything for granted. Japan is my second home. I have a relationship with Japan, the Japanese culture, the Japanese people, the Japanese food, Zimbu, everything. So I want to thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you and to be a part of the Japanese baseball, because 83, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 best baseball in Japan. Best. And I was a part of that. 皆様、本当にね、ありがとうございました。どうも。
では最後に本当にこの、日本から離れてもう20年以上経つんですが、それを振り返ったときにこれだけの時が経ったのにもかかわらず、もうロサンゼルスで空港で飛行機に乗る時から東京成田に着きまして、でタクシーの運転手やもう本当に空港の方たちからみんな挨拶をしてもらう、サインを求められる、本当に私がこんなに愛している国の人たちがまだ私のことを覚えているのが非常に幸せに思います。でやっぱりみんな野球を愛している、私と同じぐらい皆さんが野球を愛して、それが一番大きな共通点ではあると思いますが、最近フロリダでイチロー選手に会った時に彼の英語でThey still love you、日本はまだクロマティを愛してますよって言われて本当に嬉しかったです。83年から90年日本にいたんですが、もう本当に最高の、世界で最高級のベースボール、僕にとって一番楽しいベースボールだったと思います。でその一部であった自分が本当に幸せと思って今日ここに来れたのも本当にありがたいです。お集まりくださいまして本当にありがとうございます。
はい、どうも。
Thank you.
So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to ask. Try to answer them best as I can here.
Okay. Do you want to sit down or keep standing?
Okay, I can stand.
どうしましょう。Okay, stand or whichever.
I'll sit down.
Sit down. Sit down is better. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Okay,
Cromartie, so thank you for a nice speech from the government. And you said that you were looking for perhaps a Japanese owner. So what kind of investment does this kind of owner have to?
I think the passion for baseball. I know his business sense will be there, but it's more of the passion for baseball, the international level of baseball. Wayne, you can help me out. The owner of the last Seattle Mariners just passed away, who owned the Seattle Mariners. Mr. Nintendo. I think he never showed up. He never went to a game, but he did something very, very extraordinary at that time. And I think it's time for another one that has history behind that. So we're looking for the passion. I think his financial wealth will be obvious, but it's more of the passion.
Okay, just very quickly, I'll interpret that. 質問は、モントリオールにまた野球チームを復活させるとして、その日本人のオーナーに、求められる条件というのは何でしょうかという質問に対して、もちろんお金も大切ですけど、まずは情熱だと思います。ベースボールに対しての情熱、それからシアトルに、ベースボールを持ってきた任天堂の社長のような情熱が必要だと思います。We've got some sports media. Any questions from there?
Jason? Dozo.
Yeah, we have a microphone there.
I know one of the big things about.
Can you identify yourself and your organization?
Jason Koski for the Japan Times. The crowd support and fan support is one of the things people often bring up about Montreal, and so I was wondering if you could reflect on when you were playing there, what the atmosphere of the city was like and the reception that you guys got while you were playing.
Montreal has a city of 3 million people, close to 3 million people. The passion has always been there, like I said, with the Canadians and with the Alouettes. We were averaging over close to 2 million people, 2 million fans from 1977 to 1979. It dipped after the 81 series that we almost won the championship against the Dodgers. And then it started to climb back up with the 94 team with Felipe Alou and Pedro Martinez, those type of guys. So it's never, ever has been about the fans. It's been more about the ownership. We've never had clear ownership. And as far as I'm concerned, the only ownership that the Montreal Expos has ever had is Charles Brofman.
ご自分がプレーしていた頃のモントリオールというのはどういう、ベースボールチームとファン層だったんでしょうかという質問に対して、もうチームがなくなったというのはファンの情熱が足りなかったとかではなく、非常に人気の高いチームでありましたし、だいたい平均、200万人以上スタジアムに毎年入っていましたので、それ以外のビジネス面の問題が主に理由だと思います。
Yes. Yes. My gentleman back there. Anybody back there at that table?
なんか聞きたそうなお顔が拝見できるんですけど、質問はございますか？
No? Okay.
はい。
Yes.
はい、どうぞマイクロフォン。はい、大丈夫です。
私は20数年前、クロマティさんが書いた本を読ませていただきました。でその文中の中で非常に王監督との友情だったりとか信頼関係っていうのを非常に読み取りまして、いまだにまだ、王監督との、そういう信頼関係と友情は続いていらっしゃるんですか？また今他の当時のジャイアンツ選手とまだ友好関係が続いている方がいらっしゃったら教えていただければなと思います。
Okay. I read the book, your book, over 20 years ago. I'm very curious to know if you've kept up the deep friendship and trust that you talked about in the book with O, and also the other players on the team.
Osan I haven't spoken to a while, but the love and appreciation and it's always will be there. And I wouldn't be successful in Japan, especially with the Giants, without Osan as Kantoku. And my relationship with my teammates, Egawa-san, Hara-san, Maikihara-san, Shinozuka-san, Nakata-san, we're going to dinner Thursday night. We're all going together Thursday night for dinner.
もし王監督がいなかったら本当に私の日本での体験というのは全く違うものになってたと思いますし、その信頼と私が彼に、感じている尊敬と、深い愛というものは全く変わっていないと思いますが、残念ながら最近ご無沙汰しているんですが、実は、FCCJ から連絡をしたときにもうすぐ、マネージャーから電話がかかってくるほどあちらもお会いしたいという意向だったので、今回それが実現できればと思うんですが、but that's a side. I added that they called us right back and would really like to see you guys get together. でも、okay, I didn't get all the names. 江川 and Hara.
Shinozuka, Maikihara, Yoshimura.
今度みんなで木曜日はディナーすることになっています。
Those are the type of people that hopefully I can be a part of the business scene here, that they will be a part of my eventually the business scene here too in Tokyo, something that I have.
もし日本でビジネスをするチャンスがあったら本当にそういう人たちと一緒にできたらとってもいいと思います。
Can I just say something about Ichiro? Ichiro, to me, he's unbelievable. I think I understand my understanding of Japanese culture and Japanese baseball. I get lots of questions now from the American media about Japanese baseball. His concentration, his devotion to the game is so uplifting to me compared to the way Major League ball players look at the game. Ichiro loves the game, respects the game. Ichiro now is a living legend. He's bigger than Osan. He's bigger than Nakashima-san. In that manner, And I think the Japanese people ought to be very, very proud of Ichiro-san for what he is doing in baseball and his dedication to baseball. I appreciate that because I know the difference.
一言、イチロー選手に関して申し上げたいんですが、本当にもう私から見ても信じられないほどレベルの高い、選手だと思います。で、私は日本の野球、アメリカの野球も見てきましたし、よくアメリカのメディアにいろいろそのジャパニーズベースボールに関してのコメント、のリクエストがあるんですが、もう一流の集中力、その練習力、徹底したもう本当に完璧を求める彼の姿というのは他にメジャーリーグでも見れないと思います。ですから日本の皆さんが本当にYou said that he's already bigger、もう彼は本当に生きたレジェンド、もう今すでに多分今までの日本のスーパースターと言われている人たちを超えていると思います。でそのように評価をしてますし、私はそれを全部見てきた、一人として、もう本当に比較の背がないほどすごい選手だと思っています。
すごい、すごい。
James from Stars and Stripes. You just said that you...
Can you go to the mic? Yeah, and thank you.
No problem.
We're recording all the Q&A as well.
James from Stars and Stripes. You said that you know the difference between Ichiro and how some of the other baseball players focus on the game. What is that difference? Can you expand on that a little bit?
His dedication to the game. He watches the game. You watch Ichiro when he doesn't play. Ichiro is watching the game. Ichiro is preparing his time, his moment to play, to get up at any situation. Few American ball players, they're not there with that. Ichiro is there every pitch, every inning, mentally and physically preparing himself for whatever the situation is, for whatever position that he plays. He is one step, two steps ahead. Ichiro. That's dedication. That's pure love for the game. He was born to do what he's doing. And Japan should honor him. Japan should be very proud of Ichiro. It's not easy what he did. I'm proud of him because I have some connection with Japanese and Dai League. I know the difference.
どこが違うか、イチロー選手のどこが違うかと今聞かれましたが、彼を試合中の彼を見てください。彼は本当に自分がプレーしている時だけではなく、他のピッチ、他のプレーすべてを彼は見ています。で常にメンタルにもフィジカルにも、もう次のレベルにまた、上がり詰めるまでという、もう本当に、熱心な、勉強、これだけ長い間プロをしていてもやはりもっと上のレベルに行きたい、自分のプレーを超えたいという彼の情熱は本当に類を見ないと思います。ですから日本は本当に彼を誇りに思うべきですし、日本に住んで日本のベースボールを体験した私も非常に彼を自分の誇りに思っています。
This is that.
Jun, you have a question? どうぞ。
And I want to say to that, because of Ichiro, I watch baseball much more than I used to. But me, Japanese, I see difference in behavior of Japanese in American team and the Japanese in Japanese team. Ichiro is much more friendly, much more do whatever he wants to do. And he did this, which he never does in Japan. And I think it applies to everyone. Hara-san always like this. His successor always like this. It's like a Buddhist monk in the bench. But they in America, if they go, I'm sure they are doing this.
Yeah.
So, what do you say to that?
Well,
I don't want to say that.
I like that.
I was like, okay.
I think Ichiro realizes where he is. It's all about team. This is what I learned in Japan. Team. No wakamamas, ne? Takusan wakamamas daily yo. Got a lot of wakamamas over there. Okay? Ichiro is team. You know, there were sometimes they thought Ichiro was a little selfish what he did, but no. It's about team. And I think he realized he's speaking more English. He speaks a lot of English. He's very smart. He picks up very quickly. But sometimes when I watch TV, Ichiro's on the bench. Not too many players talking to Ichiro. Because Ichiro's here. Ichiro's got blinders. They respect that. They don't come, messing around. Ichiro, okay. But Ichiro's here. So he's a lot looser, yes. Good point.
アメリカメジャーリーグは本当にわがままな選手が大変多いんですが、イチローもそのように、思われる時もあったようですが、アメリカの彼を見ていると本当にやっぱりチームのため、チームなしでは優勝できない、でよくベンチの彼を見ると試合中他のプレイヤーがあんまり声をかけてないんですね。でも実はそれは皆さんが彼がいかにその試合を真剣に見ているか、学んでいるかっていうのをものすごく周りが尊敬してますから、試合中には彼にあまり話しかけないように皆さんも心がけているようです。
One more.
Okay.
どうぞ。
Makoto Honjo, associate. Let me throw you a curveball. Compared to, for instance, football, compared to football, which the Americans call soccer, and rugby and at times cricket, baseball has not internationalized as much as those other games. Why do you think that is the case?
One important aspect about baseball, it transcends. Baseball has this tremendous ability to transcend. We've had a problem in 9/11. What was the sport that started the change? It was baseball. When the president threw the ball out in New York, things started to change there. Every city has its own culture. Baseball's been around a long, long time. Baseball is not an easy game to play. Now we have problem with the black kids playing baseball. Not a lot of black kids are playing baseball anymore. We have a problem. They play football, basketball. We have a problem. Major League Baseball is trying to bring that back. So it's all about culture, teaching. It's easy to get on a team to kick a soccer ball. It's easy to play basketball. You can go pick up a game, go to a park and be a part of a basketball team. You can go to play, the kids can go play youth football. Pay $25, they get a helmet, they get pads, and they're part of a team. Baseball, you got to play in the hot sun, you got the ball coming at you, a lot of different things, a lot of time. So that's why baseball is one of the most difficult sports to play. You fail 7 out of 10 times to hit a baseball consistently. So it's all about the teaching, the effort putting in.
Okay. 一つカーブボールを投げさせてもらいますという始まった質問なんですが、サッカーやラグビー、クリケットなどに対してベースボールというのはもう今一つ国際化が進んでないように思いますが、どういう理由がありますでしょうかというのに。You should say this in Japanese. Okay, yes, but それに対してですね、野球は、そういう、バリアを超えたスポーツだと思います。特にアメリカでは、911の後もやはり大統領が試合に行って、ボールを投げることによってアメリカの癒しが始まったとみんなが感じるほど、もう魂の入ったスポーツだと思います。でも他のスポーツよりも、非常に、11人プレイヤーごめんなさい 9人プレイヤーが必要で、それ非常に教える、今アメリカではあんまりベースボールが教えられてないように思います。もっと熱心にそれを次の世代に伝えていくような、ことが大変必要だと思います。それから子どもにとってはやはり10回、スイングをしてもそのうち7回っていうのはほとんど必ず、空振りかアウトなわけですから、そういう意味でも子どもたちにはなかなか、ずっとそれを練習してうまくなろうというようにするには非常に難しいスポーツであるかもしれませんが、それは本当に教え方で今後どんどん育てていきたいと思います。Okay.
Wayne, it's about time.
Wayne Grasick from JapanBall.com. Crow, you mentioned two possible ways that Montreal could get a team back, by another team relocating or expansion. I really think expansion is the better of the two, because if some other team relocates, that city's going to lose their team as Montreal did. I know the feeling because when I was a youngster, I was growing up in New Jersey, in the New York area, and my parents and I were Brooklyn Dodgers fans.
Okay.
And when the Dodgers moved to Los Angeles, it broke our hearts, and we went through a tough time there. We didn't like the Yankees. But then when the Mets came, were born in 1962, it was a tremendous feeling. And I don't know how many remember how bad they were, but we didn't care. We just wanted to have our own team again. So I think expansion is much better, and I could see Major League Baseball maybe adding 2 teams to go to 32. I don't think they're going to add one team.
Right.
I was wondering if you had any communication or discussions possibly with other cities who might be looking for a second expansion team. I would think like Buffalo or Indianapolis or New Orleans or someplace like that, and just wondering if you had thought about that at all.
Well, we're on the list right now. We're number 1 to get the team. Major League Baseball right now, with the collective bargaining agreement, they have to get through with that. They have to find a stadium for the Oakland A's and also for the Tampa Rays. Oakland's not going to go anywhere. They want to keep Oakland there. Tampa, they're talking about stadium locations there also, about putting a stadium in Tampa. It's nothing like fresh paper, starting from the beginning like we did in 1969. Yes, Major League Baseball wants 32 teams. They're even talking about Mexico City. I don't know why, because El Chapo is going to wind up being a general manager, building tunnels or something. I don't know about that, but they are talking to. We're the top team right now. Listen, we've had the last 3 years in Montreal. We've had 2 exhibition games each of the last year with the Toronto Blue Jays, Cincinnati Reds, New York Mets, Boston Red Sox. We drew 300,000 people in the last 3 years, 90 plus for 2 exhibition games, and we don't even have a team that played in Olympic Stadium. Showing the world, the Major League Baseball, we are ready to have our team back. So something's going to happen real soon here. We are a market. This is not our first time around. We've had it since 1969. So we're sitting right where we want to be sitting right now, and I think it's going to happen sooner than later.
Okay.
And we like to be in the American League.
Oh, American League. Okay.
Because of Toronto, neighbor, Boston, Yankees, Detroit. We were a National League team for a long time, but the second time around, it's best for us to be an American League team.
I don't know if I got all the teams right there, but 質問がですね、モントリオールに新しいチームがまた復帰することができるとしたら、一つはリロケーションっていうんですか？いいですか？ Relocation で。
Yes.
Okay. No, in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was asking Takahashi-san. Okay. Or リーグ拡大のこの2つの手段しかないんですが、質問をしてくださったグレイチックさんは多分、拡大の方がいいと思います。彼が幼い時にブルックリン・ドジャースという有名なチームがあったんですが、ロサンゼルスに行ってしまって子どもたちはもう皆さん失望なさったすごい苦い経験がまだ思い出されるので、そういうのは、どう思いますかという質問だったんですが、今モントリオールとしては、そのエクスパンションの中で拡大という中でですね、マッチリストのトップなんですね。ですからいろんな今動きがありまして、タンパとかオークランドとかいろんな名前も出ているんですが、なんかメキシコシティにチームを作るとかそういう話も出ているようですが、私としてはもうぜひともこの3年間、エキシビションを、You said you had 2 exhibitions in Montreal?
Two games in the last 3 years. We drew over 300,000 people, 90,000 each game.
でモントリオールのチームがない中でですね、トロントのブルージェイズ、シンシナティやニューヨークメッツなどがあって、エキシビション、ボストンレッドソックスも来たときに30万人入ったんですね。チームを持たない都市にそれだけのファンがまだいるわけです。ですからもういろんな動きがある中で、どんどんその夢に近づいていると思います。もうその一歩手前まで来てると思います。でもしメジャーリーグ復活できるとしたら、周りのチームを考えるとアメリカンリーグが私は好ましいと思います。
James from Stars and Stripes once again. Ishinomaki is one of the cities that our publication has a pretty decent relationship with. So how did you get involved in Ishinomaki and the clubs out there? And what do you hope that the game of baseball can do to these kids that can help them in the healing process?
Well, I was talking with Jim Smalls, Major League Baseball, and also Mr. Takahashi is here from MLB here also, invited me to participate if I'm going to be here in the city during that time. And of course, I jumped on it to be a part of it. The 3 days, August 5th, 6th, and 7th, this weekend. They're having a big tournament there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Takahashi, MLB has built a field there to help with the tsunami that would happen there, the devastating problem they had there. And like I said before, baseball transcends. You see how baseball is bringing that city, going to bring that city back some type of way, giving back. MLB is as good as that. That's what they do. And people like myself and other major league players who want to get involved, spread the game all over the world, from South Africa to Canada to Japan, China, wherever it may go. Baseball has that tremendous ability of transcending. So we hope that it will bring some type of unity, some type of joy, some type of hope. Baseball gives that.
スターズ&ストライプスのものですが、スターズ&ストライプスは石巻市と長年津波以降、いろんな取材やいろんなプロジェクトを通じて、とってもいい関係を持っていますが、今回クロマティさんは石巻でどういうことをなさるんでしょうかという質問に対して、今日 メジャーリーグベースボールから高橋さんもいらっしゃってますし、代表のジム・スモールさんともいろんなお話をしたんですが、今週末、5日、6日、7日に、そこで、試合をやりながら、地元の、若いプレイヤーたちに希望と喜びをまた伝えたい。本当にベースボールでなければできないような、さっきも言った国境を越えたバリアがない、そういう喜びをみんなに伝えていきたいと思います。それが世界中、今アフリカや南米やいろんなところにもそれが広がっていますので、そういう意味で、メジャーリーグがあちらでグラウンドを建設なさってます。ですから本当に子どもたちにもっと、楽しんでもらいたい、世界を知ってもらいたいという気持ちでいっぱいです。
Is that it? I think you've heard enough for the. Oh, you have one more? Go right ahead.
One final question. Thank you.
I'm American myself, but I have an Expos hat, and every now and then I'll wear it around town, right around Tokyo, and inevitably a Canadian will come up and just kind of go crazy for the hat. And I mean, I've had people ask me if they can take pictures and things of that nature. And having lived it as a Montreal Expo, have you ever really thought about why this team became such a phenomenon and why it's just that random people will stop a stranger in the street and ask them to take a picture of their hat? Like, why is the Expo?
Let me put it this way. We don't have a team, and I think we're in the top 10 as apparel, Expo apparel. We're in the top 10. We don't have a team. It's because of the history. You know, there's two things in baseball that never changes. There's history and numbers. Montreal has them both. So this thing here, hopefully, I'm going to be wearing this next few days. Like yourself here in Japan, they're going to see this. I'm representing Montreal with the tricolor hat. It was Chotahinden at the beginning with the colors and everything. But we won some ball teams. We have two people now in the Hall of Fame who wore this cap, Andre Dawson and Gary Carter. And soon, next year, we're going to have Tim Raines that wore this cap, and maybe Vladimir Guerrero after that. So this is the first professional hat that I ever put on. So I'm very proud of this. And yes, we see it from time to time at football games, basketball games, the damnedest places. People are wearing it. This is what I asked 5 years ago, to show the support. And this was what's been happening. So one of the reasons why I'm bringing it to Japan, like I said, I want Japan to come to Montreal, Montreal to come to Japan.
先ほどの記者の方が、アメリカ人なんですが、モントリオールエクスポーズのキャップを持っていまして、それを街中でかぶると、カナダ人が写真を撮ってもいいですかとか、どこで買ったんですかとか大騒ぎする。もう10年以上ないチームで、カナダ人はいまだにどうしてそこまでチームを愛しているのでしょうかという質問にですね、いまだにトップ10、アパレルっていうんですか、ユニフォームとかシャツとか、ロゴが入っているものっていうのがメジャーリーグの中でもトップ10に入るんですって。もう10年以上存在してないチームがそれだけグッズが売れてるということは、やはり根強いそのファンの、愛情がいまだにあります。それから野球にとって2つ一番、重要なことというのは、そのチームの歴史、それから、ナンバースと言いますけど、数字ですね。どういう、実績を残したかという。で、その2つにおいて非常に素晴らしいチームです。歴史上残るチームです。で、今殿堂に、2人のプレーヤー、ダーソンとカーターが入ってますが、間もなくティム・レインズという3人目のモントリオールエクスポーズも選手もそこに入るという、と皆さん信じています。で、私にとってやっぱり5年前、本当に根強く残るそういう情熱っていうものに対して、やっぱり私たちはみんな応えなければいけない。で、私がもちろん初めて身にしたメジャーリーグのユニフォームでもありますし、このキャップは今でもとても誇りに思ってかぶっています。ですから、その日本にも この大きな夢の一部にぜひなっていただきたいと思っています。
The last thing, if you want to get to know what we're doing in Montreal, you can go to the website montrealbaseballproject.com. montrealbaseballproject.com, and you see what we're doing in Montreal.
最新情報は montrealbaseballproject.com でぜひご覧ください。
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
ありがとう。
And I have one more. You can't leave just yet.
Okay.
Okay. 今日はゲストとして来てくださいましたWarren Cromartieさんに We have a special honorary membership. It's good for 1 year.
Ooh.
So you have to come back and use it lots, please.
Of course.
Okay.
Hope to be living here, working here, of course.
Hi. Thank you very much.
はい、ありがとうございます。どうも、メリカ。ありがとう。どうもね。はい。
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you.
Thank you very much.